In this video I'll demonstrate you guys how to install a different trigger connector bar if you choose so. Popular upgrades are 3.5-pound connector bars. It's pretty simple to do. You don't need to have a special Glock tool. You can use just a regular punch to disassemble your Glock, or if you don't even have that, you can use a drill bit and use a back side of a drill bit to push a few pins out. In this case I'll just use a regular punch to disassemble the Glock. First things first, make sure the gun is unloaded. Take out the magazine, rack the slide back, physically look in the chamber, make sure there is nothing in it. Always point in the same direction, release the trigger. Okay, now you would take off the slide like you normally would. Take it out and set it aside. To change the connector bar, you would need to take out the ejector assembly, and all you need to do is pretty much push out 3 pins. This is Gen 3, and I think it's the same procedure on Gen 4. So you have 1, 2, and then the 3rd pin in the back here. Typically I start with the 2 pins on the side. So you would take your punch and start with the top one. Just simply push the pin out. This is a metal pin. 2 pins on the side are metal pins, and in the back is typically a plastic pin, so you can't go wrong and mess those up. So to take the bottom pin out, it holds your slide lock in place. So you would apply pressure on the pin and pretty much just move your slide lock up and down, back and forth a little bit until you feel the pin is released, and start moving it. And as you can see, the pin is coming out. Pretty simple. Typically what I suggest to do, and everybody else suggests to do, is push your pins from your left side to your right side. This is easier to do because you have a little catch that's on the slide release, and there are tiny grooves here. So if you go this way, you don't have to go. You only have to kind of go through one groove. If you go opposite way, then you have to go through 2 grooves, and it's a little bit more difficult. So once you took out both of the pins, your slide lock is out. Set it aside, and now you freed the locking block for the barrel. Simply pry it up a little bit, like so, and it just simply comes out like that. Pretty simple. You have one more pin. Just push it out either side. Take it out. This is your plastic pin. It also, if you look at the pins here, so this is thicker pin that held your slide lock than your other metal pin, and this is the plastic one. So you can see the plastic one is the shortest one also. So the plastic pin goes in the back. Now what you would do is simply push up on the trigger a little bit and pull on the ejector like so, and you have the whole assembly in your hands. And on this side you can see the connector bar. Now what we need to do is separate the trigger bar from this assembly, and you do that. You can see that there's a little piece that goes in the slot here, and there's a little spring that applies a little bit of tension. So you would do is raise it up, turn it sideways, and you'll free. So there's a little spring that connects. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there's a little hole, and this spring just connects like so here, so it's going to be easy to reassemble. To take out your connector bar, flip it over on the other side, and you can see it protrudes on this side. Again, using the punch, just tap it slightly or push it slightly on this side, and you can see it start to come out. And here's your connector bar, free out of your pistol. I already have 3.5, or actually no, this is a stock one, stock bar. I just cleaned it off a little bit since I'm here. I don't have another one to put in. So what I would do is just pretend this is the new connector bar. You would just do the reverse procedure. Place the new connector bar. Make sure you seat it all the way in on the bottom. On top, it's still going to be off a little bit. This is by design. It has a little spring action here, but just make sure it's seated all the way in on the bottom here. Next, you would reassemble your connector bar or a trigger bar to the spring. Again, there's a little hole here, and you see the spring opening here. Just simply connect that spring. Sorry, I'm doing it through the camera. There we go. And then rotate it a little bit and slide it in place. That's it. Your assembly is ready to be reinstalled into the gun. Do that by simply inserting your ejector assembly with the trigger, just like that. Slide it into place. Ready to go. Take your plastic pin from either side, doesn't matter. On this one, just insert the pin, make sure it's even on both sides, here and here. Now insert your barrel lock into place by simply placing it on top here and sliding it down like so. Now to reassemble it back, I recommend you starting from the smaller top pin here. Again, now reassembly goes from right to left. Simply insert the pin. Again, make sure it's even on both sides, like so. Now on slide release, there's a little spring. You have to make sure that the spring, let me see if I can get enough light here. You have to make sure the spring goes under the pin we just inserted. So pin is going to be on top, kind of holding that spring. So simply insert it, slide it into place like so. Take your larger pin, metal pin, from left to right, lock it into place. Now slide release, slide lock is in place correctly. Take your slide, lock it into place again. Gun is safe. Point it into safe direction. Function check. Everything works. This is all it takes to replace your trigger connector bar. Thanks for watching.